I'm Dave Abrams.
And I'm Kristin. Welcome to Arundel County Week in Review. In this episode, we'll find out where the local turkeys are running and preview snow season. But first, making headlines this week. Are you knowledgeable about personal finance? Because Lord knows I could use some help.
Yeah. I'm not good at it either.
Well, if you aren't, now's a good time to get started. Students at Anne Arundel Community College got a nice primer from County Executive Steve Schuh this week about everything from stocks and bonds to real estate. Econ 113 is an introduction to personal finances. Students learn how to make practical choices regarding consumer saving, investing, and budgeting. They also learn about credit, which would be the area I need help in.
Really?
Yeah. Insurance, housing, career choices, retirement, and estate planning. If you would like to take this class in the future, head on over to the college's website at aacc.edu. Did you pick any tips up? Please share them.
I actually did. I learned a lot. Obviously, Steve Schuh has a background in banking and owned all these businesses. And I mean, you should listen when this guy is explaining. So he talked about index funds. Okay.
Enlighten me.
Okay. So instead of buying an individual stock, you invest in an index, so the Dow Jones Industrial or the NASDAQ or whatever. And what happens is you call up and you say you want this, and basically your buying of stocks, I'm gonna sound stupid now, but your buying of stocks mirrors what the index did. So if the Dow is up that day, then you made money. If it's down, you lost money. And of course, over time, the indexes are constantly going up. Historically, they don't go down. So
okay.
If you're investing over a long term, you're gonna make money. Does that make sense?
It's
called an index.
But it seems like the same as stocks to me. Sometimes stocks go up and sometimes stocks go down.
But a stock could tank because the company doesn't do well.
But you don't have any kind of penalty with that because you're just an index.
Right, because you're always going to be up in the end.
I'm going to have to talk to Professor Schuh.
Apparently according to Professor Schuh, you need to Google Vanguard.
Okay.
That's one of the companies that helps you purchase these index stocks.
Yeah.
So check it out, index. I never heard of it, and
I'm gonna have to check.
He said that's the way to go. So there you go.
Be better at managing.
It's not a secret anymore, Kristin. So get on it.
I need to be better about managing my personal wealth.
Yeah. Quick story on that. I used to work for Hechinger when I was a teenager, the hardware store.
Yeah.
And while I was there, the stock was trading, I think at I'm not going to say the amount, but I was going to buy stock and then it split. The stock split and I would have made a lot of money. But then what happened? Home Depot.
Yep.
Home Depot came in, Hechinger went. So that's the stock market in a nutshell from Dave Abrams. There you go. That's how it works. There's ups, there's downs, there's splits.
Well, we might have an auxiliary class.
Go with the index. Sounds safer to me. Well, help is on the way for military veterans and their spouses entering the job market. Thanks to a $4.3 million federal grant, the county's Workforce Development Corporation will start connecting military personnel with jobs. We learned some startling statistics, Kristin. The national unemployment rate is 4%, and the unemployment for veterans is, get this, 8.5%, double.
That's horrible.
Maryland is, in fact, the highest unemployment rate for veterans in the United States.
Jeez.
Bet you didn't know that either.
I didn't know that.
The unemployment rate, ready for this one? The unemployment rate for a female active duty spouse is 32%.
That's insane.
And that's a really bad number, and we need to do better. So if you want to find out more about this program, visit Workforce Development on the web at aawdc.org or call 410-987-3890. We got to fix that, right?
Definitely. 32% for female spouses.
Yeah. Because it's just as hard for a spouse because they've been out of the game.
They move around so much. And yeah.
And we talk about helping our veterans. This is a way to do it, to help them find a job, give them a chance, right? Because they've got the training, they've done high stress jobs, they've learned all these skills, so give them a chance, right?
I agree with you.
Totally.
An Annapolis resident is looking for your help in locating a prized possession that went missing from a Murray Hill neighborhood. The Fisherman has been on display for about 6 years outside Charlie Berliner's house. It's a wood decoration of a fisherman catching a fish. The sculpture is a family heirloom, and Mr. Berliner would very much like to have it back. His neighbors have become quite fond of it too. The Fisherman is 42 inches long, and the fish is about 36 inches long. It's quite a ratio there.
That's a big fish.
Yeah, it's a big fish. Mr. Berliner is offering a $100 reward for its return. So if you have any information as to the whereabouts of the sculpture, please call 410-279-9978. Kristin Lagana is on the case.
I think you can solve this. I think you can crack this
I can crack this
puzzle. We need to find this fisherman, okay? This is a big deal.
We need
the
to
folks
find
in
it
Murray Hill
yesterday.
demand it. They want their icon, their landmark back.
I understand. And
So call Mr.
ready to get
Berliner
to
and
work.
tell him what happened to his fisherman. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we will talk to the man, Alex Bacquie from Public Works, about the white stuff that's going to be coming soon. Take a look at our community calendar for events happening around town, and we'll be right back.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Well, welcome back. Joining us in the studio this week, we're delighted to have the return of Mr. Alex Bacquie from the Department of Highways. Alex, how's it going?
Going well, thank you.
It's November, so
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome
Glad to be
back.
It's your showtime.
This is your time. How are you feeling? Is this you're ready? You're ready to thrive, or you're kind of like, I hate this time of year?
I love it.
love it.
I do. We're ready to go. We've been working
Awesome.
since August, going through our normal preseason preparations. We just have a checklist. We know what we need to do. Start working the list, and just about this time of year, about the 15th of November, we've worked through everything, and really revolving around 4 areas: materials, staff, equipment, and contracts for hired contractors
Very
to
good.
push snow. So
Yeah.
we're just about done preparing.
Everything's ready, Dave.
Yeah.
We're ready.
It's all happening.
So, how do you think we did last year? If you had to assess yourself.
And how bad was last year,
Sure.
snow-wise?
Well, we had a pretty mild start, and then
Boom.
come January, boom, blizzard. And that's, for our area, typical every 4 to 5 years is the way I look at it. And we got hit with a 29-plus inch snowstorm in a single event. So there was no winter, no dry run. We like to have sort of a small one just to work out the kinks. But I think the county as a whole responded effectively. That was Public Works and Fire and Police and the Office of Emergency Management and the leadership.
Recreation and Parks.
Recreation and Parks, absolutely. A lot of folks, allied agencies support Public Works in a lot of roles, as well as maintaining their operations and access to their services. So it's really a team effort. And the way I look at judging our performance is, one, did we meet the published travel guide, which is essentially how long is it going to take us, given the amount of snowfall, to service your street? So we met and exceeded those levels of service. And then 2, the letters that I get, and the folks that I go and sit down with after the event to hear their concerns. And I have a binder that I keep with all the thank you letters and those that raise issues. And by and large, people were appreciative of what was done. They felt that we, planned and executed the job. And so that's
How big
those
is
are the
that
2
binder?
things.
Like
That's a nice, good
That's
2-inch stack
Okay.
Fan mail.
of
Yeah,
fan mail.
Fan mail.
just
is
like
a-
Kristin's fan
yeah.
mail.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, it's a great thing to get.
Yeah.
And it helps give me a more, an outside perspective on how
Outside
people
the bubble.
perceive outside
Yeah.
the bubble.
Yeah.
I
Right?
think that's great because you always hear the complaints, but it's really nice when someone takes
Yeah.
the time to comment when you do a good job and thank you for it. So, yeah, I'd say it was exemplary performance last
It was,
year
and
as
I do
far-
remember that we exceeded the levels of service, and of course there were people who that wasn't acceptable to them, but it's coming back to me now that it was a lot of snow really fast, and we got those main roads cleared very quickly.
very quickly.
And it's the arterial, then you do the arterials, and then you get down to the community streets, and then you get into the issues of people who, for years, they haven't been plowed, and they voice that concern, and usually it turns out that it's for a reason, that it's a private road or a private community or something of that nature. So I thought the crews did a great job. I think they always do a great job. I mean, when you're out there seeing these guys work and they're working these 12-hour shifts, overnight, and subsiding, is that the word, on coffee, and it's a hard job, and the folks out there do a great job.
Yeah, they do. And last year was also the first time that you used salt brine. So can you talk about what that is, and will you be using it again this year?
Sure. Last year was our first time, as you said, and we did it in sort of as a pilot on just some of the major roadways. And it is really nothing more than water and salt. Salt at a 23% concentration. And we spray that out onto the roadway, and folks may be familiar with it driving up and down the interstates in the past few years, and then maybe in the county roads last year, where it sort of leaves the salt residue or these white stripes down the pavement. And what that does is allow us to have some material on the roadway before the snow starts falling, help keep that snow from sticking and packing to the roadway, and makes it quicker for us to return the road back to safe, passable condition.
And you'll be using it again.
We will be using it again.
Worked very well last year.
It worked very well last year. We're pleased with the results. It is not a tool that works in every event. If it's going to rain beforehand, it's not something we can use. And there's some other limitations, but we found it to be worthwhile. And we both have county equipment, and we also have contract equipment now that can do some brine application before each snowstorm.
And this is not the same brine that you're about to do on your turkey, please.
Got it. I was going to ask that question.
Yeah.
And also there's an environmental benefit, right? Because it's a lower concentration of salt than if you were just
That's right.
pouring out salt directly, right?
Exactly, it is. It helps us reduce the amount of rock salt that we put out on the road, which is both cost effective and has a significant environmental benefit.
Nice.
So you talked about some of the things that you're doing to get ready. How do you deal with, I can remember in years past, whenever there's a big snow event, near the end of it, it gets to the point where everybody's scrambling to find that salt supply. And how do you plan for that?
Well, we have a number of contracts set up pre-season. We typically refill our barns at the end of the prior season, within reason. You can't, so they're mostly full. We will top off each fall. So we start the season always with a full supply. And then we have contracts in place to make sure that we can resupply after every storm event. And we typically have 2 or more contracts in place to help us do that. There are years where we've run into a regional salt shortage. That makes it more difficult. Even with contracts, if Baltimore doesn't have any salt and they're waiting on a barge delivery, then we have to wait. And in extreme cases, State Highway has even assisted local municipalities where they've had additional salt supply. We've been able to transfer some down into the locality, in our case Anne Arundel, and that's helped to buy us some time until we could get salt back in.
When do we usually get our first snow event, even if it's an inch or so?
Well, as a rule of thumb, Thanksgiving is a good time to,
Oh, Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yes.
That rings a bell.
Yeah.
I think that's coming up.
It
Yep.
is. Yes. And even there's some talk of nice Arctic blast coming down, coming into Thanksgiving week, and some snow that may be coming down into, luckily, areas just outside of the Mid-Atlantic.
Perfect.
So we should be in good shape getting through Thanksgiving. But typically that's the opening of the door of the season for snowfall. As we did last year, we had a mild start. The consensus seems to be we're going to again see a mild start to the season, and we won't see snow events starting until into mid-December and later.
Very good.
Okay.
I love the snow. I'm excited for it.
You ready?
All right, are we gonna do this?
We're gonna do this.
All right.
Well, first we should say, Alex, you probably know this, that
Yeah.
Kristin is the snow queen, and she accurately has predicted our snowfall for the last couple of years. Last year,
I wouldn't say accurately. I'd say I'm more in
better
the
than me.
ballpark than you.
Better
Yes.
than me. Okay, fine. Better than me. So, after we're done talking with you, we're gonna go through all our handicapping. So
Yes, yes. Now, what would you say is your prediction for this year?
we do the total precipitation
Yeah.
and the biggest one-day event.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stick with this being an average year, which would be about 20 inches.
Okay,
Oh, you were
Total
making fun of me. That's
it's all right. And for
20
one
inches.
event, what do you say the highest it'll get?
I'm going to go with 11.
11 inches for one event and 20 inches
the expert is
all
spoken.
together. Okay, we're gonna think on that and chew on that for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Alex, thank you for all the hard work that you and your team do for us every year. And like you said, it's a work in progress, and it seems to be getting better and better each year that it goes by. So thanks for all
That's
the
our
prep
goal.
you've already done for us this year for the county. And thanks for coming on and sharing your predictions and what you guys are up to right now. So
Thanks for having me.
yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Very good. Well, we'll be right back with more Week in Review right after this. Don't go anywhere.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Welcome back. Gobble, gobble. Turkey Day.
Wait. Is that the noise the turkey makes?
All right, let me see if I can make a noise like a turkey. That's pretty good.
It's good turkey.
Well, Turkey Day is coming, and our own Michelle Corkadel visited some local turkeys to file this report. Michelle?
Did she visit us?
Thanks, Dave and Kristin. I'm here at Van Alstyne Seafood and Farm with owner John, and we're here to talk turkey. It's that time of year again for the gobblers, isn't that correct, John?
It is. We're getting ready to have fresh turkeys ready for Thanksgiving dinner.
And nothing best than right here in our backyard of South County. And so where's your farm at, John?
We're located in southern Anne Arundel County. We're at 135 Jewel Road is where we sell all of our wares, and we have leased property throughout the county that we raise different products and animals on.
So, raising gobblers isn't just about feeding them, plumping them, and slaughtering them. There's a little bit more to it, isn't there?
Now, these are all pasture raised. They're antibiotic free, and they're fed an all plant protein diet. We try to get everything to the public that we'd want to have for our own dinners. So we have them on the pasture here. The heritage breed are free ranged. The broad-breasted whites, we keep them in an electric fence. They have got pastures that they get moved throughout the season. But it's fun. It helps offset some of our other activities.
And so how many gobblers do you expect to send to market this year?
This year, what we have left that hasn't been processed is 50 turkeys, and we've already done about 50 heritage breed that have already been ordered.
Great. So how does this all begin? How do you start with eggs, or do you buy them?
On our heritage breed, we have 6 brood stock that we keep on hand year round. We keep them at the house in the spring to collect their eggs. We incubate their eggs out. In the fall, this time of year, we bring them back to the farm, turn them loose, and then we'll collect them again in the spring to do the same thing. They take 9 months to get to maturity. The broad-breasted whites, like you see under our feet here, we order those as one-day-old chicks. We put them in a brooder, raise them for 3 weeks in a brooder, and then bring them up to the farm. They're not something that we can incubate out.
Great. So let's go visit some of your brood stock. All right. So we're here hanging out with the broods. John, tell us a thing or two. Educate us a little bit on how this whole process works with the broods. And
well, the ones we have in this enclosure right here are bourbon reds. They're a heritage breed turkey. We leave them on the farm free range through the winter. Right now, we're getting ready to release them after we finish this weekend. Then we'll come back in the spring and collect them and put them back in pounds at the house, where we'll let them lay their eggs. And we'll go ahead and collect all their eggs and hatch those out. Once they're hatched out, we put the young in an incubator. They'll be in there for 29 days. We hatch them out, put them in a brooder. We brood them for 2 weeks, then we bring them to the farm and put them in open pasture, and then we'll slaughter them 9 months later.
So they kind of roam around these parts all throughout the winter months.
Yes.
And so what do they rely on for food?
Well, we let them eat the bugs and all the grasses and the seeds that are out there. When we cut down these cornfields, we'll be planting rye back in. They'll eat a lot of the rye, a lot of the acorns that's down in the woods, things of that nature. We also give them a ration all winter long as well. We want them to know where home is so that we can recollect them again come spring. So everybody likes to come back to where food is, so we'll keep them fed.
Absolutely. So insects, you mentioned insects, so they can be sort of a form of insect control?
Yes, they eat a lot of insects off the farm, so it helps keep all those down. Even when we have them at the house, they eat a lot of the mosquitoes and ticks and stuff like that.
So they also eat the bad guys too. That's great. Good news to hear. So maybe we need some more turkey farmers there, huh?
We probably do.
Now, do chickens do that too?
They do. The chickens here, on the farm, we've got 200 egg-laying chickens, 100 barred rock that are totally wide open. They come and go over the entire farm and the neighbors' farms wherever they want to. And then we have 100 Rhode Island Red that are in quarter-acre impoundments, pasture raised, and we move those impoundments every day. We actually feed the ones in the impoundment 3/4 more than the ones that are on free range. So it does make a big difference.
Wonderful. And can folks purchase local poultry from you?
Yes. You can purchase our broad-breasted or bourbon red turkeys in season. Our Cornish cross meat birds we slaughter those every month throughout the season. We also do rabbits, and we also do eggs.
Well, buy local and support our local farmers indeed. Thank you so much for having us out on the farm today. We greatly appreciate it. What a wonderful autumn day. And you enjoy your fall harvest. Back to you in the studio.
I'm guessing President Obama will issue a presidential pardon to the turkey one more time this year. What do you think President Trump will do, Dave?
It's going to be the greatest turkey ever. It's going to be huge, drumsticks everywhere for everyone. It's going to be great. All right, so let's talk turkey, as they say on Thanksgiving. Talk turkey to me. Oh my God, there's so many, it's so fun. So our friend Alex gave us a very good rundown on what's going on. That the snow could be here any minute.
Any minute.
We don't know. We have to look out our big news window and see what's going on.
Okay.
So I did a little research because I want to do better this year because you crush me on this every year.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to read some statistics here.
Go ahead, but they won't save you.
All right. What do you think the highest snowfall total ever in the Baltimore region has been for the whole season?
Ever?
41. In one season. 77 inches.
Oh, I was way off.
And of course, what year was that? Come on.
77. Was this recent?
Yes.
2010?
2010. Yeah. Snowmageddon, right? 77. Okay, and then...
And that was the highest, 2010, just 6 years ago.
Yep, 77 inches. 77 inches, okay? Hold on to that number, 77 inches. And what do you think the lowest snowfall total for an entire season is? And I'm going to tell you, it is low.
3.
1.8 inches. Okay?
When was that?
That's just to give you
When was that?
That was in 2011, the year after Snowmageddon.
Yeah, it had it.
How about that? All right, so I'm going to give you one more benchmark. Let me just consult my notes here.
Okay.
All right, the single day events, all right?
Single day events.
We have 25.5 inches on January 22nd, 2016. So we talked about that. 25.5 inches.
No, so it wasn't 29, it was 25.
25.5. We should have corrected that earlier.
That's right.
February 5th, 2010, almost 23 inches.
23.
And then February 9th, 2010, 15.8. So again, we're talking about Snowmageddon there.
Got
all
it.
right?
Got it.
So a big snowfall for a day
snowfall
is in the range of about 20 inches. A crazy season is in the range of 80 inches. All right?
Yeah, that was to the top of the spectrum.
All right. Now, have you consulted with your almanac this year?
I did.
Okay. What did the almanac say? And can we please have your prediction?
I want you to go first.
Oh, I'm going to go first?
Yes.
All right. So I I read the almanac. It was very vague as always. It said we're going to have, it's going to be below average to the south and a little above average to the north. Whoop-de-doo. That doesn't tell us anything. All right, here we go. You ready?
Ready.
My prediction is, can I have a drum roll for this? For the whole season, I have 26 inches. That is slightly higher than Mr. Bacquie. I'm going to go with 26 inches. We do Price is Right rules, so if you go over, you're out.
Got it.
All right, 26 inches. And then my one-day total, I'm going to say no blizzards. I'm going to say 10 inches. And I believe Mr. Bacquie said 11, so I'm going to go with 10 inches.
Interesting.
I turn over the floor to the Snow Queen.
Very good. I'm going to say, overall, 38.
38 it is. Mark it down. 38 inches from Kristin Lagana. Which is
single event.
Not huge.
It's not huge, but I think it's going to be very, very cold. I think it's going to be colder than what we're normally used to.
Really? Is that what the almanac
I'm going to see
said?
a lot of, and ice.
Oh, I hate ice.
I know. And a lot of people were projecting that we were going to have a snowfall in November, but Alex is saying probably not till December, mid-December, which that's when my birthday is, so that makes sense.
You know what? I think. Well, November's almost over.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're going to see
that's
the
a
snow
safe prediction.
Yeah, we've had some unseasonably warm. This weekend is actually supposed to be like 70.
Okay. What's your single event?
22.
22. So we're going to get most of our snow, all but about 10 inches, you're saying, in one event. 22. Mark that on the board.
22 and 38.
All right, so you went way over. So I did 10 inches. So if it's anywhere, I have a good chance of beating you here, unless it's a huge snow event.
Sure.
All
but
right.
you won't.
I probably won't.
You probably won't. They're saying we're going to have crazy snow, especially in February. We're supposed to just get pummeled with snow. And I'm an enthusiast of the snow, so I'm going high numbers.
All right.
But I didn't go crazy. I didn't go 70. Notice that. I didn't say 50. I said 38. I'm going around 40 inches.
All right. We'll see.
Can I do a shout out?
Maybe we'll do a shout out, please.
Love my baby sister.
Oh, shout out to Vicky Lagana.
Soon to be Duke.
Oh my goodness.
Getting married.
You have the floor again, please. How do you feel about this?
I'm just so proud.
Are you getting a little weepy?
I'm a little weepy. I've been weepy all week. I love her so much.
And you have, you know what, I'd like to say for Vicky that, you have done a great job. You have worked very hard to help your sister succeed and have a wonderful wedding. And she appreciates that. She told me. She loves this.
You talked to her? Are you guys talking about me?
We may have talked about some things you haven't done right.
Stop. Oh
some
my
things you
gosh.
could do a little better.
Stop it.
There's a few things you could have done a little better. But
all right, I got one question for you.
Yeah.
We always like to question each other at the end of the show.
Yes.
One song you gotta hear go down at the wedding. What is your either walk into it or gets you on the dance floor?
The Wobble. Duh.
The Wobble?
The Wobble.
Out of the catalog of American
That's my favorite
music.
song. That's my favorite wedding
is
song is The Wobble. And we talked about the ones you can't do. You can't do Celebration. You can't do Shout.
Electric Slide. Can't do Shout.
Okay, what's yours?
I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston. Every time I hear it, somebody who, somebody
And of course, Cake by the Ocean. We like Cake by the Ocean.
we love Cake by the Ocean.
We like that
yeah,
one.
and
it's
you know
not
what?
quite dead yet. You can still play it.
But what's the hot song right now for wedding receptions? I'm telling you, it's got to be 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars.
Oh yeah, that's a good song.
That is the jam right now.
I mean, if you just wrote a formula for how to have a hit song, that's it.
Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
Bruno Mars.
brilliant.
And then we have a lot of Motown in my family, so I know Barry White, my first, my last, my everything's going to be going down this weekend.
Oh, there's going to be some crying.
It's going to be lots of crying and drinking. Lots of drinking.
And there's no drinking. It's not, you don't drink. You don't drink.
I didn't say me. I just said there would be lots of it going down.
All right. Well, only if you're 21 or older, kid.
That's right.
That wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode and archived episodes online anytime on Facebook or YouTube by simply searching for Arundel TV. Go ahead and do that. Search for Arundel TV. There's a lot of good stuff. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news from around the county, and we'll see you next time.